Hello, I'm Paul Flynn, Managing Director and CEO of Whitehaven Coal. It's my pleasure to tell you about the record results delivered by our team at Whitehaven for the first half of the 2023 financial year. To start with, our safety results continue to improve. We achieved a recordable injury frequency rate of 5.2 on a 12-month rolling basis, which was 15% better than last year. We produced 8.8 million tonnes of ROM coal, which was 4.8% higher than the same period last year. Our Narrabri underground mine performed very well with consistently strong production. However, in what has been a very wet year, our production at our open cut operations was significantly disrupted as a result of mine access and haulage road closures caused by several localised flood events. Continued strong demand for our high CV thermal coal and global supply constraints resulted in record average thermal coal prices and record financial results for Whitehaven. During the period, 92% of our sales were thermal coal and 8% metallurgical coal. Our average achieved coal prices was a record at $552 per tonne for the first half of FY23 financial year, compared with $202 per tonne for the first half of FY22 and $325 per tonne for the full year FY22. Record coal prices drove Whitehaven's best ever half-year financial result. For the first half of FY23, we delivered revenue of $3.8 billion, EBITDA of $2.7 billion, NPAT of $1.8 billion, and operating cash flows of $2.5 billion. Thank you to everyone in the team for achieving strong safety, operational, sales and financial results. Let me now hand over to our CFO, Kevin Ball, to talk through our capital allocation framework.
Thank you, Paul. With continued strong operating cash flows, we're maintaining our disciplined approach to capital allocation. As at 31 December 2022, Whitehaven held $2.5 billion of net cash on the balance sheet. We're using cash to maintain and optimise existing operations. From that $2.5 billion, we have $1.3 billion of tax payments which will be made. Around $550 million of that relates to FY22 to be paid in February 2023, and the balance of the 1.3, which is about $750 million, be set aside for tax in relation to the first half of fiscal year 23. After those commitments, we're returning capital to our shareholders through franked dividends and share buybacks. We're also retaining some cash on the balance sheet to have funding available for the future, including for our growth projects, if that's the best use of capital at the time. For the 6 months to 31 December 2022, Whitehaven delivered an outstanding shareholder return of 101%, including dividends and share price appreciation. And that made Whitehaven the #1 performing stock in the ASX 100. We bought back 67 million shares, or around 7% of shares on issue, for $593 million during the half. That brings us to a total of $955 million investment to buy back 14% of the stock since the buyback program started in March 2022. The board has determined to pay a dividend of 32 cents, fully franked interim dividend payable on the 10th of March. And as part of our capital management approach, we intend to return between 20 and 50% of NPAT to shareholders through franked dividends and share buybacks during the year. Back to you, Paul.
Thanks, Kevin. Whitehaven continues to present a compelling investment proposition. We produce the highest quality thermal coal in the seaborne market, and we are playing a critically important role in providing energy security for our customers in Asia. Importantly, our customer countries are all signatories to the Paris Agreement or have aligned domestic policies, and our coal is helping those countries to decarbonise. They're reducing their emissions by replacing older technology coal-fired power plants with high efficiency, low emission electricity generators that need our high quality, high CV coal as fuel. Closer to home, our taxes and royalties to governments, both state and federal, was a record $1 billion in FY22, and for the first half of FY23, we'll pay another $1.1 billion. So we're making an important contribution to Australia's economic prosperity. And finally, turning to our outlook. Energy security remains a global priority. High quality, high CV thermal coal will continue to be required for baseload energy, while also enabling the multi-decade energy transition. As we've moved into the second half of the year, we've seen thermal coal prices retreat from record highs. This reflects the mild Northern Hemisphere winter as well as normal seasonal movements in coal prices. Despite recent softness, prices are still strong and we continue to expect high CV thermal coal prices will be well supported. Russian sanctions, weather impacts and the New South Wales government's expansion of its coal reservation policy all contribute to the tight supply of coal in the market and further support the strong pricing environment. For metallurgical coal, prices are strengthening as trade flows with China open up and global economic recovery progresses. We see a very positive demand outlook for metallurgical coal longer term. For the full FY23 year, we expect to deliver another strong year. We expect to produce between 19 and 20.4 million tonnes of ROM production and to deliver 16.5 to 18 million tonnes of managed coal sales. We expect unit cost to be in the range of 95 to 102 Australian dollars per tonne, reflecting inflationary impacts for diesel, electricity, labour and other inputs, but we're tracking at the lower end of that range. While Whitehaven is not alone in experiencing these inflationary cost impacts, our business is well placed to continue to deliver strong margins given the supportive pricing environment. Once again, I'd like to thank our people for their commitment and the strong result, and of course our shareholders for your ongoing support.